What's up everybody, it's Beancrew49 here and I'm back with another Desolation video. Last episode we left off in the Shady Oaks condominium complex. I was working on a kitchen, I think. So I'm just going to show you what I've got done since then. Not too much in here. You remember this entrance room with the chandeliers. Nothing's really changed in here. We come this way and we're in the kitchen. I put some slabs here for some depth in the floors. I'm probably going to go back and add some other texture to this floor. The floor is feeling kind of boring right now. But I've got my shelving units, my microwave, my functioning refrigerator, oven, cabinets. Plenty of stuff to loot in this room. And then there's the dining room table. Put a hallway that goes around the floor. I'm going to fill this hallway with furniture and things. But I've also got a bathroom. This is the master bathroom, so it's rather large with the shower and toilets. His and hers, of course. Over here we got the master bedroom. I just wanted to fill this room with stuff. You know, I was talking about probably going back and apocalypsizing this building. But I may not do that now. I might actually decide to barricade the doors and make it so that this place was safe from looters and rioters. So I got plenty more to do in here. On this other side we're going to have more bedrooms and bathrooms and all that stuff. So let's get into what I wanted to get into today. I just wanted to bring you up to date on that. So what I want to talk about today were the mansions. I didn't get into too much detail before, but I'd like to now. Basically the way it works is you're going to learn that Armageddon has come to the city, of course, and you were able to survive for a whole month. You know, most of the people are dead in the city, but you lived. And it's because you found your way into one of these 6 starting mansions. And they have electricity, and they have fences, and, you know, they're good to go. They kept you alive. So the thing with the mansions is each mansion has its own starting item. There's the food mansion, the armor mansion, the weapons mansion, the TNT mansion, the potions of health mansion, and the miscellaneous potions mansion. Now, what this means is each mansion has its own starting item. So what we're going to do today is I'm just going to show you the food mansion. This is my mansion. This is one of the first buildings I built on the Desolation map. And I admit, it's not much to look at from the exterior. It's pretty, I don't want to say ugly, but, you know, it's pretty boring from the exterior. And that's sort of intentional. What I really wanted to do with this building was prove a point or have an example for my builders. To really tell them and, you know, hammer the point home that I really want this build to focus on interiors just as much as exteriors. So I went all out with the interior. Each mansion has a backstory, and the backstory here is that this house was inhabited by an obese couple, and I'm not talking about, you know, like, a few pounds overweight. These people were morbidly obese. You cannot go 10 feet in this house without finding a seat, you know. There's seats everywhere because who has time to stand when you're eating? The kitchen is huge. I wanted to do a bunch of little details in the house that really went with the backstory. One thing I'd like to mention here is the painting. We really don't have too many paintings on this map just because they cause lag. They're an entity that the game has to deal with. So all over the world we've had very few paintings, but when I do use a painting I use it strategically. And this painting definitely goes along with the theme of the house, right? The backstory. So yeah, this is the kitchen, pretty quaint. So over here is the dining room. You know, you can do a lot with a little space. You know, this room isn't really functional, but it really helps the house feel more like it's lived in. Of course, the overweight people will have a dining room. Here we go upstairs. More strategic use of paintings. More seating, you know. Over here is a grandfather clock. My friend Shadow Overkill came up with this design. He used wooden doors, though, instead of iron doors. I used these iron doors because I wanted to not copy him blatantly, you know. So, yeah, that's why I did that. Over here we have the master bedroom. And I wanted this, again, to go with the backstory. So we've got a gigantic bed. This bed, you know, you can jump on it. If you can see, I'm stress testing right now. I could never destroy this bed. It's built for about 1,500 pounds. Over here we have drapes. I don't know if I didn't mention them downstairs, but one of the things that I'm really kind of proud of in this build is drapes. You know, I've never really seen too many drapes in Minecraft before, but I thought they lent a bit of realism to the build, since you don't want people staring into your bedroom. Some furniture over here. Plenty of stuff to loot. Of course, these mansions will be empty. The only thing you can get out of these mansions is their starting item. And I'll show you this mansion's mini game in a second. This is the sauna. This is purely aesthetic. This is hot in here. Let me close that door. Don't want the steam to get out. This is the bathroom. We got a his and her mirror. Got some medicine cabinets, towel rack, all that stuff. Shower. This is my favorite thing. This is the his and her toilets. This is so that they can take a dump together while holding hands and staring over the city. It's very romantic. You know, the smell of feces in the air. I mean, who wouldn't enjoy that? So now let me go to the outside, because I haven't shown that yet. Just the backyard. It's a fairly simple backyard. Nothing too fancy. We've got over here. These are meant to be trash bags, hefty bags, and you know, you're living in a house for a month, you're going to accumulate some trash. But it's also a way to leave the mansion from a different location, just in case someone is stalking you and trying to prevent you from leaving. I've got a little not picnic table, but an outdoor table set over here. I might turn that fire off. I don't know. We'll see. Tree. So yeah, one thing I wanted to mention was this way of hiding lighting. There is glowstone under here. I'll show you. And you cannot see the glowstone if you have two blocks above it. So put some leaves there and you suddenly can't see the glowstone. So that's a great way to hide some lighting. So finally I'm going to show you down into the basement where we can see the minigame. Down here. And we come to this room, and I'll read the signs for you. It says, "Honey, I locked the door to the basement in case of an attack. If you need to get to the food, use the keypad to the right. I hid the 3-digit PIN code around the estate. Just find the 3 numbers, and then enter them into the keypad. If you don't get it right the first time, keep trying. It's based on timing." So you probably didn't see I went really fast, but I looked at all 3 numbers on this house tour. And an observant person may have seen that. You probably can't see it. I went really quickly. You'd have to pause the video. But at this point, you'd find those numbers, and when you do, you come back down here. I'm not going to open them now, of course. But this is a combination lock, and these doors will open, revealing the food. So you'll leave this mansion with food in hand. The downside is, or the drawback, is that you have until you starve to death to do it. So you have 2 options. You can either run out into the city right away with nothing, or you can wait until, or not wait, or you can try to do the mini game. And if you can do it before you starve to death, you'll come out of the mansion with some items. So I'm gonna end the episode there. That is the food mansion. I'll be sure to bring you up to speed on these other 5 mansions at further points in this series. But for right now, that's the food mansion. I just want to say thanks for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe for more. Thanks again, guys. Have a great day.